Opening mail packs. The video where I open my mail as if it's sealed boosters because I forgot what I ordered. It's Leah here, and we've got a mail pack from Card Kingdom. This time, a nice big one. We'll easier pop some of these things open from the bottom. I'm expecting they did it the same way they did it last time, and there'll be just a little Card Kingdom box in here. Sure enough, there it is. Now I have a whole world of packing peanuts. There. So like the last Card Kingdom mail pack, this one is going to be primarily tokens. We'll go through and highlight anything that's kind of interesting in here. We got a bunch of black cards, which is pretty normal for what I like to order. We've got an Umbra Stalker in foil. Will that show up? Should. I bought lights. That's what lights are for, right? So it's just a old black card that was on my list. Currently have no purpose for it. It power and toughness equal to the number of black mana symbols in the costs in my graveyard, which in a mono black deck could be a lot. So it seemed kind of cool. Start stacking them up somewhere. Alright, now here is an Abyssal Night Stalker. It turns out Night Stalker was a creature type that looks like it's only in Portal 2. I decided that if it ever suddenly came back as a tribe for reasons I can't even imagine, I had to have them. So now I have them. Okay, here's a blue card called Abjure. Sacrifice a blue permanent to counter target spell. So you would play this and then sacrifice something and then you would counter a spell. Why did I need this? I haven't the foggiest. I really don't know what I need that for. Okay, last ditch effort. I think I did want this for something. Purpose unknown. 1 red and sacrifice X creatures, and it deals X damage to target creature or player. So I guess if you have a lot of stuff to sacrifice and needed to either trigger sacrifices or do some damage, it will work. Impromptu raid. Not sure what I wanted this for either, but I guess it was on my list somewhere. So for 2 and a gruel, reveal the top card of your library. If it isn't a creature card, put it in your graveyard, otherwise put it in play. Sacrifice it at the end of turn. Seems cool enough. This in one of those Nikani decks or something. What's that one where you can only have creatures in it? It's just creatures and lands. Measure of Wickedness. It's a black card, so I like it already. At the end of your turn, sacrifice Measure of Wickedness and you lose 8 life. Whenever another card is put into your graveyard from anywhere, target opponent gains control of this. Seems easy enough to hand around the table. Looks like something I would want to put in Sir Conrad. Not sure that's a great fit for it, but looks like something I would want to do that with. Okay, we've got a black card. Not a big surprise. Not sure how to pronounce that one. Cagemurrow? I think that's as close as I'm going to get. Legendary creature, demon. Cagemurrow, first to suffers power and toughness are equal to cards in your hand. can sacrifice it, and all creatures get -X, where X is the number of cards in your hands. Seems cool. Most of these cards have absolutely no reason for me to need them. Yahanni's Expertise. Did I buy this for the art? Yes, I did. Did I need it? Unlikely. That's it. That's why I wanted it. It looks cool. All creatures get -3/-3 till end of turn. You may cast a card with converted mana cost 3 or less without paying its mana cost. So it just kind of semi-replaces it for cost, which is nice, so you don't spend your turn on a board wipe. You have an option to put something out there at least. Solengar Assassin. Another black card. Creatures with power greater than Solengar Assassin's power can't block it. It starts as a 2/1. It has Megamorph, so it could start face down, and then you could morph it into a bigger creature. And when it morphs face up, destroy target creature with power 3 or less an opponent controls, which is not bad. And it comes with a nice little stamp of the pre-release date. Alright, we have more Night Stalkers. Did I even read what any of the Night Stalker cards did? No, but this was the card that made me discover that Night Stalkers existed. Forget whose video this was in when I saw it and thought, cool, Night Stalkers exist. I need to do this, even though there's a whole whopping, 7 of them. Let's count them out as we go. We'll put them on the top row. See, one of these was already a Night Stalker, wasn't it? Here it is. Okay, we're going to count out the Night Stalkers as we go. So far we're at 2, and 1's a sorcery. So it'd be hard to even put that one back into play. Here's a Night Stalker. It's got Swamp Walk. That seems cool. I didn't read any of these before I bought them. Here's a Night Stalker. They all have this weird looking art though. Like they're either these creepy looking white dudes or kind of ash and gray colored dudes. Can't be blocked except by other black creatures. So basically fear. It's also a 2/2. Got Predatory Night Stalker. Comes into play, you may force an opponent to, I guess you can, to destroy. I don't know if that's going to be reworded as destroy target creature or opponent sacrifices target creature. Anyways, it's a 3/2 Night Stalker. Up there. Night Stalker Engine. It has the power equal to number of creature cards in your graveyard. But toughness is a 3. But it's a Night Stalker. So far we've got 5. Okay. Here's a Night Stalker. Brutal Night Stalker. When it comes into play from your hand, you may force an opponent to choose and discard a card. 3/2. Night Stalker makes an opponent discard a card. Okay, 6 Night Stalkers. Don't know if we'll find any more. That might be it. Kill switch to tap all other artifacts. They don't untap as long as this remains tapped. So you kind of have a one shot of tapping down everybody's mana rocks, and then as long as this stays out there, they just stay that way. Okay, we've got... What is this? Chiron Archive. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may remove the top card of your library face down. Discard your hand and sacrifice this to pick them all up. I think we've seen a couple other varieties of this before. Weatherlight reminds me of that. The Skyship version. Well, I guess both versions of the Weatherlight will do something like that. Carvu Lair. It's a lair. So that's it. That's what I wanted this for. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater comes into play, its controller draws a card. So this affects everybody. So be a little careful choosing to put that in a commander deck. You have to know that you're always going to be bigger. It's a hard guess. It's not really a sideboard where you can say, uh-oh, I'm not the biggest deck at the table. Okay, Keeper of the Dead looked like a cool card. Plus it's a black card. Destroy target non-black creature. Play this ability only if the creature's controller has 2 or fewer creatures in their graveyard than in yours. That's probably a reason you don't see that much, is because it makes people have to count things. Corpse Swift. 1 and a black to exile 1 or more creature cards from your graveyard. Put an XX black zombie horror creature token onto the battlefield where X is twice the number of cards exiled. Seems cool enough. Another thing you could put in Conrad to pull stuff out of your graveyard. Here's a second copy of it. Not sure I needed 2, but I guess I have 2 now. Blood Scrivener is a zombie wizard. If you would draw a card while you have no cards in hand, instead draw 2 cards and lose a life. So as long as you're playing them fast enough, I like it. Extra 1 of those. Alright. I think we're getting down to the tokens now. Kindle the Carnage. Discard a card at random. If you do, Kindle the Carnage deals damage equal to the card's converted mana cost. You may repeat this process any number of times. So if you didn't like the first discard again, I suppose. Eventually you'll hit the one you're trying to get. Zorius Aethermage. Whenever a permanent is removed from your hand, you may pay 1. If you do, draw a card. It's removed from your hand. So I guess if you have to discard or something... Oh, returned. That makes a lot more sense. I need a less fuzzy camera. There, see? It was a return. Whenever a permanent is returned to your hand. Doesn't say by your opponent, so you could just bounce something and pay 1 to draw a card. It's pretty cool. We have something gamma. And more fuzzy text. Equip creature has 2. This creature gains +1/+0 till end of turn. Whenever equipped creature deals damage to a blocking creature, this deals damage to each other creature defending player controls. So whatever they block with, you could pump up the damage, put it all into whatever they're hitting, and then the rest of the person's defending creature... No. Whoever you're attacking, all their creatures take that much. Equips for 3. Seems interesting. Alright. And then we have a Chaos Lace. This was bought really just for the crazy looking art here. Not sure what was going on. We got patterns and colors. Very abstract. Change the color of target spell or target permanent to red. Do all costs... everything else remains unchanged. It's red now. I pay a red. A thing is now red. It does not end at end of turn or anything. It's just permanently red. Okay, in the rest of this pile we have... Okay, so here's a chunk of tokens. Are these, I guess they call them Modal double-faced helper card. Goes something like that. There's some more cards. Tokens. Or modal double-faced helper cards. Getting ready for the Crimson Vow stuff to arrive. So they're all Crimson Vow double-faced helpers. For when that gets all set up in binders. So this would be the rest of the cards that came in the Card Kingdom order. Fathom Fleet Captain. I think this is just a spare copy of him. Makes pirates. Pirates are cool. Black cards are cool. Hey, we found a Night Stalker. It's a 1/1. If it attacks, it gets +2 till end of turn. Rites of Spring. Discard any number of cards from your hand. Search your library for basic lands. Reveal them. Put them into your hand. Okay. Can't even imagine what I wanted half of these for anymore. How did these get on my list? Rites of Incarnation. Okay. These are on my list because I just bought everything with the word Rites of in front of it. And assumed they were good cards. May not have been very much a good idea. Discard any number of cards at random from your hand. Creatures get +1/+0 until end of turn for each card you discarded. So if you're swinging all out and you need that extra push to get through, this will give it to you. So that's cool. I guess, well, I can't put Rites of Spring in a Sir Conrad deck and discard creatures. That's unfortunate. Everything should just fit in Sir Conrad. Void Mirror I needed for a modern deck I saw on the internet that looked fun to play. I think it's a Panharmonican zombie style deck, so picked up a Void Mirror. Undead Auger. When this or another zombie you control dies, draw a card and lose a life. Straightforward black zombie goodness. Saw it coming. It counters target spell. But what I liked about this way to counter target spell is instead of holding up mana every turn with a counter spell in hand, I'll just foretell it as soon as I feasibly can foretell this thing and leave it out there until I need it. I might have to hold up a little bit of mana every turn, but it's not holding up a slot in my hand. My opponent can't make me discard it or something. It's just kind of more ready. And I liked that. Maze Mine Tome, I have 3. Now I have 4. Why do I have 4? I don't know. What does it do? Not even sure. Haven't ever used one of the 4. Put a page counter to scry. Put a page counter to draw a card. Exile it when there's too many page counters. Gain 4 life. Does things. Could be fun someday. Waker of Waves. This looks like a whale. It looks huge in the art. And that's cool. And it's foily. So it's doubly cool. What does it do and why did I need it? No idea. Creatures your opponents control get -1/-0. Discard Waker of Waves. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other into the graveyard. And it's got flavor text. I do like flavor text. I like to occasionally read the flavor text. I do sit and read them sometimes. Knight of the Ebon Legion. Figured I'd finish off a playset of these. Maybe they'll be good for something as a playset at some point. Since it's a 1/2 for 1 black. It's got that nice streamlined mana cost. Relevant creature types. Abilities. It has those. Gets Death Touch. Gains counters. I do like it as a card. Playing Omnipotence. Get this nice foil cool artwork here. What does it do? I don't know. It's black. That qualifies it for purchase. Each player loses half their life, then half their hand, then half their stuff. Sir Conrad, here I come. Maybe I'll just rebuild that deck. That's what I should do. Shambling Ghast. Is this the playset of these I needed? Alright, the last card's in here. We've got 4 Shambling Ghast. Well, we'll do this. We've got 1 Power Word Kill. We needed a Power Word Kill for that Panharmonicon modern zombie mess we discovered on the internet. And we needed 4 Shambling Ghast. Why do we need 4 Shambling Ghast? Because we didn't buy any D&D packs. So, we didn't have any. But it's a zombie that makes treasure or gives -1/-1. It's a good utility card, actually. So, we'll get to see it in action soon in paper, I hope. Oh, looks like I ran out of space on the screen. There's so much going on here. Yep, so that was a large mail pack. Really large. Pretty cool. Lots of tokens. Shouldn't run out of those for a while. And we've now seen that there are 7 Night Stalkers and a sorcery to bring them back from the graveyard. So at one point in Standard for Portal 2, you could have had a Night Stalker tribal deck.